So what is proof of stake? First, I will give a textbook response, and then I'll explain it so simply that a 5-year-old could get it. Proof of stake is a blockchain verification method that uses less energy and is less dangerous than the more widespread proof of work method. On staking, only one miner is chosen at a time to validate the blockchain, but in order to be picked, the miner must lock up some of their coins as collateral. The miner is penalized for any fraudulent transactions by losing their collateral and rewarded for good transactions by the generation of new currencies and possibly with the transaction fees paid by the senders. So if you already understand that, you probably don't need to see this video. But if you don't, then watch it and you'll grasp it by the end. It took me a bit to properly get what proof of stake is, and I'll do my best to explain it to you in easy words. First, let me explain why proof of work stinks. In fact, we have proof of stake to fix the things that proof of work stinks at. For example, in proof of work, let's say you have 8 racers racing to the finish line. But some racers have an advantage due to the amount of resources they have, such as stronger legs, weighing less, or having trained longer. Even though all racers get the same time, only one person eventually wins and receives the award, which could be a shiny Bitcoin, while the other runners continue to go down the track, and those who did not win essentially spent their energy for no reward. On the other side, with proof of stake, all of the runners would line up at the starting line and only one racer would be chosen based on a few parameters that we'll discuss soon. This way, no electricity or energy is wasted, and no one races without receiving a reward. When it comes to coins that use proof of work, such as Bitcoin, many large mining companies compete to sell the block reward the fastest. Proof of work also isn't fair to the independent miners who don't have access to very powerful machines or supercomputers that can win the puzzle-solving task the quickest. With cryptocurrencies, we want there to be a large number of miners, so that the coin is truly decentralized and the blockchain is safe. If those large mining companies band together, they could actually start making fake transactions because the blockchain is a majority vote, and if they get even 51, you can kiss your Bitcoins goodbye. This is a big problem, and proof of stake attempts to solve it by only selecting one validator, which is the term used to describe miners in proof of stake networks. The validator or miner then gets to solve the puzzle and collect the reward, while other validators double-check them. This method is far more equitable. One important aspect of proof of stake is that because only one validator is chosen, it is critical that they solve it correctly, because otherwise they will have to select someone else and wait for them to solve it correctly, which takes a lot of time. And in the crypto space, time is money. To solve this problem, we ensure that those participants lock up some of their coins so that other validators can actually double-check their work. And if those validators were incorrect, we punished them and took some of the coins that they had locked up. This process of locking up their coins as collateral is known as staking. In short, to participate in a proof of work coin, you must own some of that coin, lock it up so you can't use it, and wait for the network to pick you to mine. If you mine correctly, you receive a staking reward, which is usually some of the coin. And if you mine incorrectly, you are penalized and lose some of the coin that you initially locked up. Moving on, how we choose who becomes the validator is essential, since in many circumstances, proof of stake coins would bias those who are staking the most tokens. We sometimes calculate in how long they have been locking up those coins. Because they have them and they haven't lost them, it is assumed that they're probably making lots of good calculations. If we only select them based on the age of their stake or who has the most stake, we would probably also secretly bias the big and rich mining facilities again. Let's go over the risks and rewards. So there are a few risks when it comes to staking your cryptocurrency. Risk number 1 is that when you go to stake your coin, it will be moved into what is called a locked state. And during this time, you will not be able to move your coins, send them, or cash them out. Sometimes you have to lock them up for a certain amount of time, like maybe a month minimum, all the way up to a year. Risk number 2 is technical knowledge. In almost every case, it's not as simple as downloading some software and then pressing a button. You usually need to know how to code, how to set up your computer to validate, and how to accept rewards into a wallet. And if there's an issue, you're responsible for resolving it. The third risk is validator commission. If you don't want to set up the validation process yourself, you can give your coins to someone else who has the knowledge and equipment to do it. These platforms usually charge a validator commission for the use of their computers, and this commission could cut into your profit, and they could run away with your deposit at any time. Risk 4 is the reward duration, which means that depending on the network you choose, it could take minutes, days, or even weeks to receive the payoff of your staking position, which is why it's critical to check the network's reward payout time. Lastly, risk 5 is bad behavior. Proof of stake is founded on validators, and if the validation comes out to be bad, you'll lose some of that stake. There's a very small chance that you truly have a true and good validation, but the network thinks you're wrong. Nobody talks about it because the possibility is incredibly low, yet it is still a risk. Finally, I'd like to discuss why we would stake because you do get staking rewards. Simple, because you will have a return on your staking tokens, which can go from 6% in the case of Tezos to 44% in the case of AXS, the governance token of Axie Infinity. Proof of stake has several advantages over proof of work, but it also has drawbacks such as invalidating DIY GPU miners who want to participate without owning a large amount of the coin, but I'll go over more of the long-term drawbacks of proof of stake in another video. I hope this video helped you understand what proof of stake is, and if you enjoyed it, please subscribe since we intend to release many more helpful videos in the near future. We'll see you in the next video. This is CryptoWalk. I'll see you in the next one.